Good Monday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic with the studios with your Talking Live forecast update here on your March the 2nd, 2026. Hope everybody had a great weekend, and we're going to continue the thread of warm weather. The trend, I should say, will continue here for the week ahead. In fact, we could be flirting with some 80-degree temperatures here, and we're also going to be dealing with limited rain chances, I think, for the most part. It may get delayed into the weekend or maybe even going into next week, but we'll share the latest rundown on that here in just a second. Now, before we get into this full report, if you're new here to the Talkin' Live Broadcast Channel Facebook page, please give us a follow. And if you happen to be watching over on the YouTube side, please hit that subscribe button. And more importantly, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future content, because if you don't do that, YouTube will not let you know that we've made an update and a change to our forecast. All right, let's go ahead and take a live look there in Chattanooga. So we got the cloudy skies for today. And then we're going to be dealing with some clouds for the next couple of days. Maybe a little more sunshine a little bit later in the week. But the theme is going to be definitely very spring-like with above normal temperatures to continue here, at least for the first couple of weeks of March, the way it's tracking right now. Looking there at Lake Chattooga, also looking at cloudy skies there as well. A little bit of a breeze, but not looking too bad there at the lake here for this early afternoon. Looking at your local radar, seeing some light returns out there. Not expecting much in the way of precipitation here for late today and going into tonight. If you see a sprinkle or two, don't worry about it. Not a real big deal, as we're not expecting any real significant rains here for a little bit, okay? Now, as we go look at our satellite picture again, we're kind of stuck here in the clouds, and yeah, it's going to be kind of cloudy today. We're going to hope to see a little more sunshine in here for tomorrow, but still finding some clouds as well. So kind of a mixed sun clouds type day ahead for tomorrow with some warm weather. Looking at your regional perspective out there with the temperatures, everybody generally in the 60s. A little cooler behind that front, but don't think it's going to make its way down into our area. In fact, a lot of East Tennessee will stay on the mild side. There is a little bit of a weak wedge here across areas of northeast Georgia as that frontal system kind of going there, a little bit of northeasterly wind. There you see the 56-degree temperature there across the northeast Georgia. That's going to linger a bit going into tomorrow, but then really clear out as we go toward your Wednesday. So let's go take a look at your regional model here again as we take a look at that. Watch that little timestamp there in the upper right-hand corner as we go through this. Again, we got that little bit of residual wedge going in for tomorrow, so still continuing that up here across extreme northeast Georgia. But again, we're expecting that to break down quickly going into Wednesday, and hopefully a little more sunshine a little bit later in the week. It was trailing a lot of clouds, but we're still seeing a little bit of ridging here coming in off the Atlantic. Okay, so a little bit of this ridging in place. This is going to keep the precipitation at bay back off toward our west and stay relatively dry here for most of this week. So as we go and take a look at this, again, going on through here, not seeing much in the way of precipitation across East Tennessee and across North Georgia as we go late in the day on your Thursday. All right, let's go look at your precipitation chance to see what I'm talking about. See that heavier rain shield up here toward the north across Oklahoma, heading up into Illinois and up to Indiana. But we're staying pretty much dry here across our area for now. And that'll change a bit as we go into this upcoming week. So right now the question is going to be going into the weekend, when do we get the rain in here or not? I think we're going to be pushing it, probably favoring it more into early next week, and we'll probably make those updates for you heading into tomorrow. So here's our forecast maps here. Watch this from our friends from the National Weather Service as we kind of go through the days of the week here as we start off going into tomorrow. Again, looking pretty good here. We got high pressure and control here for the moment. And looking pretty quiet here for the most part. Looking quiet going into Wednesday, going into Thursday, not looking too bad. Then I'm going to watch what happens going into Friday. Might bring an increased chance of some rain. And as warm as it's going to be, you couldn't rule out a rumble thunder for two, that's for sure. And then we're going into Saturday here as we're looking at that dark green showing an increased chances of rain coming into Saturday and into Sunday. So I'm just kind of looking at some of the newest data coming in here. This maps could change just a little bit, where we might slide it to the right just a little bit. The timing on this might change just a little bit, and then we see the rain chances going into Monday as well. All right, but I think we may move that a little bit to the right. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our forecast here. We're looking at a relatively nice day, 71, 52. That's almost 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. Partly sunny to mostly cloudy, kind of depending on where you're at. More you go into North Georgia, probably a little more clouds over that way. But looking at partly sunny there across East Tennessee. Look at your overnight lows, lower 50s across East Tennessee. We're still holding on to the mid-40s over there in the Carolinas and North Georgia. That's what's left of that residual weak wedge across the area. And then your daytime highs here, mostly in the 70s, low 70s across East Tennessee. Again, cooler across North Georgia thanks to that complements of that wedge. That's why Dahlonega is only sitting at 62, but 69 in Dalton and 71 there in Chattanooga. Here's the regional perspective. Again, looking at a very mild southeast. Not bad. 81 in Jackson, 72 in Destin, 67 in Columbia. Obviously, Asheville and Charlotte dealing with that cold air wedge there. A little bit cooler there in the lower 60s. And the next 7 days, here we go, as we're going to be pumping 80 there on Thursday. Maybe a little more sunshine on Friday. 83. Can you believe that? Wow. That's we might be setting some record highs here. Here comes the rain chances coming up on Saturday and Sunday. Only thing I got question marks on this is that high rain chance currently on Saturday might shift to the right. We'll watch it closely, but I'm going to keep it at 60 right now for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we'll cool the temperatures back a little bit going into next week. But the one thing's for sure, we don't have any real big cool down coming our way. I still suspect we may get one. I'm also looking ahead toward maybe Thursday of next week, where we may have some active severe weather coming across the south. Still early to tell about this, but we're getting into that time of year where we really have to start paying attention to these storm systems, especially when we get this kind of warmth and you got any kind of cold front that moves into that warm air. Then you got to watch out for obviously the possibilities from thunderstorms and severe thunderstorms at that. All right, that's y'all's update for today. Again, I appreciate you guys checking us out here on the Talkin Live broadcast channel. Give us a follow on Facebook and over on YouTube. Please hit that subscribe button. And as always, hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all future weather updates. All right, that's it for today. You guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.